One of the guys that has really played extremely well, Kevin Love, the veteran, talked about what it's been like playing with this young group this season that's having success through the first half of the year.
I have seen a lot in this league. I've been to the mountaintop. I've also been, like you said, with the Cavs, but also, with the Timberwolves that were rebuilding for so long. I've been on both sides of that. So when you have something special like this, you just try and bottle it up and say, okay, how can we just get everything we can out of this? I got to say, outside of 15, 16, I was talking to Channing about this. Like, I don't know that I've had more fun in the NBA than now, and watching these guys grow and getting to be a leader in that sense as well.
And that is Kevin Love with J.J. Redick, former NBA player, on their podcast. That whole thing, that entire show will drop a little bit later today. Let's welcome in Chris Fedor, Cavs beat reporter for Plain Dealer as well as cleveland.com. And Chris, we've watched Kevin, and it's evident, it's apparent. It's been fun to watch him kind of take on and assume exactly the role that Kobe Altman thought he could, and that, JB Bickerstaff needs him to.
Yeah, you're right about that, Dave. And it's the one that they paid Kevin to take on. And he would admit it. He would be the first one to admit it, that he wasn't a great leader in the first couple of years because he was trying to figure it out. And he was trying to deal with his own emotions, going through the rebuild and seeing a lot of his friends and teammates leave the organization. So there was a lot on Kevin, and I think he would be the first one to admit that he didn't handle it as well as he needed to, as well as he should have, given what he signed up for. But it's great that he's come around and he's engaged and he's happy and he's healthy and he's making a significant impact. And the Cavs always believed internally, Dave, that when engaged, when healthy, Kevin could be an asset for this organization. It's part of the reason why they laughed when anybody talked about the possibility of the Cavs salary dumping him or buying him out. They knew that he could be this kind of guy for this organization around the young guys. He could help set the example, and he could still play a little bit too. And you're seeing that here with Kevin. He's been invaluable to their success. He's a big part of it.
Yeah, without question. So NBA midseason awards, this one from 538.com. Most heartwarming career revival, and it's Kevin Love in the entire, NBA, and they kind of delineate what we just talked about. You see the usage rate. The other thing that I will say, you can tell the young guys respect him. They not only respect him, they actually like him. Anytime that somebody that's in their 20-something is going to call him an old man and give him grief about that, there's some respect and genuinely like that. They genuinely like Kevin Love.
And that's one of the things, Dave, that I kept writing and I kept saying, even when Kevin was having his emotional outbursts and when he was, in his own words, acting like a child and not being the best leader, the guys in the locker room still liked him. The guys in the locker room still looked up to him. It's funny, anytime we talk to Darius Garland about Kevin, he always brought up unprompted, Kevin is a Hall of Famer. Kevin is a Hall of Famer. Kevin is a great player. And it just goes to show the kind of respect that he had in the locker room, despite the fact that he wasn't playing at the level that maybe he wanted to, despite the fact that he was dealing with injuries. And, I'm not trying to give Kevin excuses or outs or anything, but rebuilds are hard. They've always been hard in the NBA, and they test you physically and they test you mentally, and rebuilds aren't for everybody. And Kevin and I had plenty of conversations behind the scenes about how difficult the rebuild was on him, how tough it was, because he left Minnesota because he didn't want to be part of that anymore, right? He wanted to chase championships. He wanted to experience winning. And then he got an opportunity to do that, the highest of the high, the top of the mountain. And then all of a sudden, he's got to go back into a rebuild. So it was really, really difficult on him. But through that all, even though he didn't handle it as well as he should have, his teammates still respected him and looked up to him.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's been through a season where you lose a lot in any sport, the one thing you learn from losing is you don't want to lose. It's awful. It is just not any fun.